What up, world? This is Nick coming at you live from the car. Today, we are going to talk about the fat burning zone. Anybody who's been on a treadmill has seen the little charts that they have there that shows the intensity, what your heart rate approximately is, and we have this highlighted area right around usually 120 beats per minute that says fat burning zone. So, of course, to those of us who haven't been versed in exercise for very long or don't have a background in kinesiology, you look at that and you think, hell yeah, I'm looking to lose fat. That's the zone I want to be in. So you get your heart rate up to around 120, 130, whatever it is that's on the chart on your treadmill, and you go to town. And you go to town, and you wonder, man, why am I not burning more fat when I'm in the fat burning zone? The fat burning zone it's a misnomer. It's a misconception. It's something that is usually taken out of context. So when the machine and the literature says fat burning zone, it's not wrong, but it is confusing. So the fat burning zone, all that means is that at that intensity range, that kind of lower intensity for a longer period of time, we are in our energy system called aerobic glycolysis. So we are consuming enough oxygen throughout the bout of exercise to utilize our fat stores as our primary source of energy. Therefore, we are using fat as our primary source, and so this is our fat burning zone. Just because you are not in the fat burning zone does not mean that you will not lose fat from your workout. At the end of the day, all we're looking for is a caloric deficit that's great enough for our body to say, oh crap, I'm out of energy. I need to take it from my energy stores, which are our fat cells, and it's going to rearrange however is necessary to keep our body functioning properly. So just because you're not in the fat burning zone does not mean you're not burning fat. So let's be realistic with this. Exercise spent in the fat burning zone is not preferential for fat loss. It just means that when we are in that state, we are using fatty acids as our primary source of energy. So keep that in mind because it's not what it sounds like. When you look on the chart, you probably see that a higher intensity puts you into kind of this like red line zone. When we take our intensity to another level, we no longer have the oxygen consumption necessary to utilize fat as our primary source of energy. So our body will shift over into anaerobic glycolysis, meaning that we are actually limiting our ability to break down the energy sources in our body and utilize them for muscle contraction and exercise. Therefore, we have to go this alternate route. This is where we start developing lactate and hydrogen ions. A lot of people refer to it as lactic acid. We have to go this route in order to continue to break down energy in our system without the appropriate oxygen consumption. That lactic acid, that lactate, and those hydrogen ions develops that tightness, that extreme fatigue, that fuzzy-headed feeling that you get when you're exercising at a really high intensity. That thing that doesn't happen when we are at aerobic levels where we have enough oxygen consumption. So the fat burning zone is not wrong, but it is a misconception. And so when we are actually doing this slow, steady state aerobic exercise in that fat burning zone, we are burning more calories during the workout duration than we would with resistance training at the same duration and intensity. However, what happens is when we are using resistance training for our primary source of, or our primary exercise regimen, we actually create an oxygen debt, or also referred to as excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, and we actually raise our metabolic rate and burn more calories in the time period after we are done with that exercise. And so it's that excess post-exercise oxygen consumption that allows us to burn more calories than we would with the cardiovascular work over the course of the next 24 hours or so. Think of this a little bit like your bank account. You can use your debit card for everything. The money's going to come straight out. There's no fees for taking that money out of your debit account, whatever, anytime you go out and make a purchase. However, when you put things on your credit card and then you leave it there, your credit card develops interest, right? And so you actually end up paying back more money to the credit card company than you spent on those purchases. That's the same thing with excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. It's like you are earning interest on the amount of calories that you burned. Obviously with money, we kind of think of it as a negative thing when we're paying more for a purchase than we originally intended to because of interest. But when we're worried about weight loss and how many calories we're actually going to consume throughout a specific workout, then this oxygen debt, this paying back this interest on our workout is a really beneficial thing, because we are going to up our metabolic rate for the next 24 to 48 hours. And that is really the defining difference between our resistance training regimes and our slow, steady state cardiovascular work. And so when you see this fat burning zone, it's really easy for us to default to, oh, if I want to burn fat, I want to be in the fat burning zone, where in reality, you're actually choosing a lesser form of exercise when we compare them by duration and intensity. So my recommendation to everybody is, it's not a bad tool. Cardio is a tool, right? And if you are doing low intensity, steady state cardio, that fat burning zone is a good area for you to focus on. However, if you really want the maximum benefit and the maximum caloric expenditure from your workouts, you really want to go with something at a higher intensity, like some type of circuit work, some type of heavy resistance training, or some type of high intensity interval training. Those exercise regimes are going to give you a lot more bang for your buck, and your body's going to be fighting it off for the next 24 hours instead of just, developing that calorie deficit and then moving on from there like you do with cardio. One last thing, the website is now up. So these videos, which I've been posting on Facebook, are now going to go through YouTube, go up on the website. You can always go there, find all the new information, check out my story, check out my philosophies on training. And let me know in comments on here, or however you need to, DM me, whatever it is. Let me know what kind of topics you guys want to talk about, because, man, I'm a talker and I want to teach as much as possible, and I want to have the topics available that people are interested in. So let me know what you're looking for, and we'll go from there. You have a wonderful day. Toodles.